Hello everybody, welcome to Sinjin Plays, and welcome to Eston. So today, we're going to be showcasing my Pokemon region. The region was once an archipelago of islands, but then because of an underwater earthquake, it became like a kind of a pier. And it's also close to Sinnoh, which is a big part of my story. The first thing is, you would start out in a nice town, the town of Coldwood. Coldwood town would be a small town. The biggest part of it would be its Pokemon daycare, which will be apparent why that's a thing later. But first, you go to the Spruce Pokemon Lab to get a Pokemon. And the choices would be some of my favorite starters: Charmander, Turtwig, and Mudkip. 'Cause I heard you like Mudkips. But anyway, you would choose one of these starters and then battle your rival, Tristan. But you would beat Tristan and advance to the first round. And after going through a few routes, you would get to the first city. A big city called Nolish Town, or city, Nolish City. And then you would go and battle the gym leader, Nolan. Nolan would have normal types. And before he battled you, he would say, "John Doe is real!" Because this is a gym leader that actually believed the John Doe myths in Roblox, where he would hack you on March 18th if you play Roblox, and the whole don't play Roblox on March 18th thing. Yes, Roblox and YouTube and all that stuff does exist in this region. And then he would battle you. He would have Pokemon like Lickitung, Lillipup, and Porygon Z at the front of his team. But you would defeat him. He would say, "I've heard some commotion in town square." You would go to the town square and there would be two Team Rust grunts there, announcing how they're going to take over the region, but they're not telling anybody. But first, you battle them. It would actually be a double battle with a female and male grunt who would have a Shelmet and a Chop, respectively, but you would defeat them. So then you would battle his Pokemon. His Pokemon would be things like Braviary and his signature Talonflame, but you would defeat Gym Leader Soren, and he would say, "I've heard there's something going on with the windmills. Now that I think about it, I don't see them out the windows. Strange. You should go check it out." So you go check it out, and you find out that there's a Team Rust admin in the square. And he has taken all the windmills on a giant aircraft carrier looking thing. And he says, "Cowering people, you will give me your Pokemon or say goodbye to your precious windmills." The people say, "Fine, take the windmills. Soren can build new ones anyway." He makes off with the windmills and vacuums up all the people's Pokemon too. But you naturally chase him. You are forced to battle. You battle him. He sends out his only Pokemon, called Fable, knowing moves like Metronome and Cosmic Power. But you defeat it. Then you advance to routes that have power plants and electric vibes on them. The most high-tech places in the region. And then you finally get to the next city, the Electric Gym. This city is a big city. You'll battle the gym leader, but the gym leader, Ellie, and her signature Electivire would be standing in front of the gym, which also doubles as a power plant. Watching a hot air balloon with a wire hooked up to it take power from the power plant. And this hot air balloon belongs to the Team Rust admin. he sends out his only Pokemon, his Leafeon, in his fortress, but you defeat him. Then you are able to battle Ellie in her electric gym. She has Pokemon like Lux, Ampharos, and of course her signature Electivire. But you defeat her. She says you should advance to the 4th gym now. It's a very nice town. A very good beach indeed. Yes. Then you go through a long area of routes and finally get to the 4th gym. There will also be a lot of caves in there. And this town would be a small mining town by the beach, where the gym leader is my dad. This would be Mineton City. And first you would have to deal with some Team Rust grunts in the mine who are stealing some glowing crystals. You are not able to battle these Team Rust grunts. They just make off with the glowing crystals before you can battle them. Then my dad comes down, the gym leader, Gregor. And he says, you best battle the gym. I don't know if you can beat me, though. If you can't, at least my son will defeat you. He has to. You battle his rock-type Pokemon, his Probo, has Golem, and his Tyranitar, and defeat him. Then he says, you should take a boat to the next island. And then you end up in Vulcan City, a canal city where my cousin's the gym leader. And you will battle her. She will be a water-type leader with Whisk, Gyarados, Gastrodon, and her signature, Milotic. But you will defeat her. She will say, hey, what's this Team Rust you speak of? I've heard of them, but they haven't come to our town yet. Yes! She gives you the HM for Surf, which helps you get to the next city. First, you go through a few routes, including quite a long route, including a route where I have a house. This route would have some tall grass and a ledge that would have an Ace Train Rabbit. And the Ace Trainer would battle you, and then you would be forced to go back up the ledge and go through some tall grass. There would be a lot of trainers on this route, and Pokemon like Wingull, Shroomish, Sudowoodo as a rare encounter, Ralts, and some Honeytree with Combee and Munchlax. But then you would advance to a few water routes, where you would surf across to another island. And then you would be in Darlusive City. This city has undergone a pretty big change. It used to be a town of gambling and stuff of that sort. But now it's just a calm town. Now it's just a calm neon town with a dark type gym, the first one. And the gym leader actually happens to be my assistant Blackwell, who has his Hydreigon, Malamar, and finally his Umbreon. But you defeat him. Then you are forced to advance to the 7th gym, which is a rugged mountain. Also, in the canal town, something I forgot to tell you, you have to deal with someone with a lot of Krogans who has stole washing machines. That will become apparent why that happens later. Then you have to go up a rugged, tall mountain, just like Mount Silver from the Johto games. There are a lot of caves. You're traversing the inside of the mountain and some wooden bridges on the outside of it. But then you finally make your way up to the highest point. Glacier City is small. It has some frozen lakes and ice skating. Very Christmassy. But then you have to battle the gym leader, Isaac, whose name is actually spelled ice with ice. So it's a pun on ice and Isaac. But anyway, you battle his Glalie, Frostlass, Auroras, and signature Avalugg and defeat him. He says, advance, ski down the mountain and go back up to go to Sky High Town. Here in Sky High Town, there would be Team Rust Grunts with the crystals you saw them stealing from 19 City. Once they put the 4 crystals in the pedestals, legendary Pokemon Rayquaza would appear, and their boss, Skullson, would come out. You would have to battle him before you could catch Rayquaza. It would be a very intense battle. But he would actually beat you. And then you would find yourself in a room with a locked door. You escape it, you escape the place, which is actually Team Rust's lab underneath one of the houses in Sky High Town, kind of reminiscent of the Team Rocket base in Johto. There would be 2 options: to battle your way through hordes of grunts, or sneak around through the vents, which is where you encounter Pokemon like Voltorb, Magnemite, and Clink. Both those ways you'd be able to get out, and Rayquaza would still be there. And the boss of Team Rust would have lost to Rayquaza. But then you would battle him once more and defeat him. He would have Fortress Leafeon, Clefable, Galvantula, and his signature Excelgor. The reason I gave him Excelgor is because it's my least favorite Pokemon. And this team is actually formed around a lot of Pokemon I dislike. Oh, he would also have a Gothitelle. That was a full team of 6. Then you would beat him, and he would run off. Then you would have to capture Rayquaza. You would capture Rayquaza, and then Rayquaza would take a Hyper Beam to the Team Rust boss and the 2 admins, which would send them flying into the side of Mount Glacier. All the Team Rust Grunts go into a panic and run away. Then finally you would advance through a few nice routes and then a desert. The desert of the town of Hot Leaks. Hot Leaks town would be a small town with a resort, with a hotel that looks like a temple, some like deserty houses. And you would go through a desert, and finally arrive in Iron's End City, the final city named for it being the last city you battle before the Elite Four. You would go to Iron's End City and advance towards the hotel, which is also the gym. And then my dad would come and say, "Oh, my son, the gym leader, I don't know where he is. I've checked here this whole year, and he hasn't been here." The only place I've never checked is Mount Glacier, because, his mom lives up there. Maybe he's in the Dragon-type city. This city does not have a name, but you would advance through Mount Glacier and go through a bridge with a lot of ruins of ancient civilization. You would go through a cave with some glowing ponds in it, where you encounter lots of dragon types, basic form pseudo-legendaries, and most commonly Noibats. You would check the air, or you would talk to my mom and say, "Hey, have you seen your son?" And she would say no. Maybe he's at the top. Then you would go back to Glacier City and find an area that was earlier blocked off you can now go to. The area would have a house at the end of it. This area would have the highest level Pokemon yet. And you would find me in that house. I have been up there for a year. And I would tell you the story of how I gave up on my gym because there was no good challengers. And I said, if you're not fun to battle, well, I'm taking down my gym and giving the 8th gym spot to a different area. And then you would be able to go back through Iron's End. In Iron's End, there would be a playground at the top of the hotel where you could battle trainers and battle the top trainer in the playground who would have made Flygon, Raticate, and Arbok. You could defeat him, or you could go back to Nolan City, or whatever that city's called, and get a Whismur. You would need a Whismur, and you would need to evolve it fully to Exploud. You would trade Exploud for Mamoswine, Mamoswine for Yanmega, Yanmega for Chandelure, and finally Chandelure for Bastiodon. You would do all these trades and then advance to a secret area in the playground, which also has a TM for Sky Attack. Then you would find a young girl who said, Sinjin gave me a Pokemon. It isn't that good. It doesn't like me that much. Could you trade it for a Bastiodon? You would already have your Bastiodon, so you would trade it. The Pokemon would be a shiny Feraligatr. You could battle me. My team would consist of Hydreigon, Gastrodon, Aegislash, Vanillux, and my signature Steelix. Oh, and a Togekiss. This Steelix would Mega Evolve. Then after you beat me, I would say, advance to the Elite Four. I'm going to train. And that was a fun battle, though. My character is is kind of like a mix of Red and Volkner, actually. Then you would go to the Pokemon League. Advance up a rugged mountain reminiscent of Mount Lonakila. You would get to the top, and there would be a Pokemon Center. I'm not telling you who the Elite Four members and what their teams would be. I will save that for the next video. My Elite Four. Oh, by the way, my gym is multi-type, so yeah. Bye! Make sure to subscribe and like and hit the bell notification thing. And bye!